Well, here we are at beautiful Rebak Marina. Rebak is an island in Malaysia off of Langkawi, and it's its own private island. So the only thing here is the marina, the boatyard, and also a resort. And so everybody that's here is either on holidays or is a yachty. So there's a great little community here of other sailors. That's kind of the reason why we chose to come here and do boat work, because there are so many facilities around that the yachties can use. There's just a lot of things to do, and part of my job while we're here is to keep Tallulah off the boat and occupied, so we're out of Yosh's way so he can get some work done. A picture paints 1,000 words, so let's go and have a look around first, and then we'll get stuck into the boat work with Yosh. Let's go! Straight off the dock, there's this beautiful pavilion here with lots of shade that you can hang out under. There's the shop here with all the beer and pies you could ever need. The gym here, I'll be seeing you later. There's lots of grass to run around on. Where's Kids Club? Where's Kids Club? Which way's Kids Club, Luna? This way! Oh yeah, good girl, little Reba. Restaurant by the pool, and this pretty cool beach bar as well. I'm sure we'll be coming back here later on this afternoon. 5:30 the yachties congregate here because they have happy hour, so it's drinks in the pool and by the beach. But for now we've got to head back in and get some boat work done. We really need to get stuck into it, so let's go.
Well, that was a successful morning. The alignment is complete, so we're just going to run around now and put all the lock nuts on top of all the mounts. The bolts are they're basically pretty well perfectly lined up, but like you can see a little bit of friction sort of do as they go in. So it isn't 100% perfect alignment, but like it is pretty close to perfect. And that's all it needs to be, because we're putting on a Sigma drive. The Sigma drive from Brunton's will fully cover up any sort of imperfections in your alignment. It's sort of like a pivotal joint, so it'll always find center. It will totally reduce on the vibration of the motor. The shaft should just be spinning perfectly dead center, nice and smooth, with the new engine mounts just purring along. That's the dream, and that's the dream we're trying to achieve. But now, we need to get this coupling off. First broke the coupling off the gearbox to change the mount, so that isn't such a big deal, but to get the puller onto the coupling we need to back the shaft out, and I've taken the grub screws out of the rotor, which is the friction seal on the PSS, and that's actually what keeps the water on the outside of the boat. One thing I was thinking last night was, once I do have all this set up, and you know, this coupling could be on there really tight, and so I'll be applying heat and applying pressure, and then when it all goes bang, I don't want the shaft to shoot out the back.
Well, that's going to be a quick way to sink the boat, isn't it? I got the bag of bungs. Which one's going to be big enough for this one? Because it's a very big hole, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll be right.
This one, you reckon?
Yeah. Sweet, mate.
It's just in case. Like, I love it how Mum trusts me to do stuff, but she definitely does it at the same time.
I feel like if I wasn't here with my concerns, you wouldn't have thought to tie it off, or those extra cautions that you're doing.
I definitely thought about tying it off.
No, my cautions make you be a little bit more cautious. I feel like...
That's right, you're the boss, man.
That's right.
You're the boss.
So,
well, that's all set up. The puller's on. That thing is absolutely soaking with WD-40. It has been for so long, but now that I've got that extra access to it, you can see the keyway, just giving that a real good soak. We've waited a good half an hour. Tapped it with a hammer, so I'll just jump in the water now and tie off the shaft, just in case. Just in case. You never know. We are pushing against the shaft, and it might want to push the shaft out the other way when this does go bang, so better safe than sorry. So I kind of want to keep our shaft. Cannonball! It's going to be such a good feeling by the time this Sigma driver's in. Completing preventative maintenance around the engine just equals stress-free cruising. Having a reliable motor when you're out at sea, it just makes your life so much easier and you can really enjoy the sailing. With a working motor, we can then continue on down to the next marina where we can sort out our current problem, which is our power situation. We've pretty much just been camping on the boat. Disabling the motor means we've had no way of charging our house bank of batteries, so we're basically just depleting any sort of charge that they have. Sure, we can run a generator all day, but that's not charging the batteries, so really the only power we have is by being in a marina and plugged into AC power or running the generator all day. What's really saved us through this time is our portable power bank. EcoFlow have got 3 new models in the River 2 series. There's the River 2 Max that we have and the River 2 Pro. Head over to the link in the description to go check out the different specifications to see what fits your needs. Without the River 2 Max, we had no way of charging our phones, GoPros, cameras, drones, so it really has got us out of quite a pickle when we haven't had the power. And it's really made us realise that having as many ways of power storage available to you when you're living off-grid and remotely is very important. What I really like about the River 2 is how fast charging it is. So the River 2 and the River 2 Max that we have can be charged from 0% to 100% in less than an hour. The River 2 Pro will take about an hour and a half. So when the generator's running, we can plug the River 2 into the outlets and then it's charged within an hour. Being a portable power station, it's unique and compact and it's super light. 9,999, 10,000. And it's easy for you to carry with you anywhere. It has the capabilities to plug into the solar panels that we already have from EcoFlow. So we can just charge it directly from the sun, which just gives easy, clean, free power, and then we can store it and charge all our devices. EcoFlow truly are masters of making your life a lot more comfortable when you are living off-grid. So if you're sailing, RVing, camping, live out in the sticks, even just at home, to have all your devices conveniently located in one spot to charge, I highly recommend you go down and check out the link in the top of the description. Head over to the EcoFlow site. All their products come with a 5-year warranty, and if you use the discount code SAILING2023 at the checkout, you'll get yourself another 5% discount. Check them out, legends. All right, let's turn this boat back into a work zone. One of the main reasons we did come into the marina was for the repairs, because how we ripped the boom bang out of the mast and sort of bent it up the top here, and so the stainless steel welder is coming today. But just to get everything prepped for him, we're going to drill out all these rivets. I'm really finding it hard to locate a big old rivet gun to slam in some big rivets to hold it in there. So maybe the welder will have one, hopefully, fingers crossed. But I'm going to have to drill out all these, take the vang off, drill out these rivets, and then get this little attachment between the boom vang and the boom out, because that's what we have to get remade and reinforced. Yeah, so like these rivets were only like just in there. They weren't really fully smacked in properly, because like the whole idea of the rivet is to pull something up against the back edge of it, and there's this here, see that bit there is the bit that's meant to be pulled back up, and it's
super loose.
Hasn't compressed it, so rivets are only just sitting in there. Yeah, this rivet this big should hold like 2 ton each one.
Yeah.
One rivet. So that's it. That's what attaches the vang to the boom. It's pretty flimsy. Bet you if I walk around the yard and have a look how other attachments are, I reckon this bit here where the pin goes, through, is going to be twice the width of that. This little track, I don't think we'll bother about that. Can't see why we can't just make this one big, thick 10mm aluminium lug. None of this little fidgety, slip it in the track with a couple of rivets sort of business. Let's beef this thing up. So Freddie, welder, when you get here, going to inspect your boat and see what yours looks like.
I want to share this or not, but Yosh and I have been on another journey, which is our pregnancy journey. We've been trying to get pregnant for, I think, 6 months now. In that time, I had a miscarriage at 9 weeks, and then a few months later I had a chemical pregnancy where I had positive pregnancy tests, and then a few days later I had negative ones, and then I got my period. So I did get pregnant, and then it just didn't continue. So it's really played with our emotions, and I think every month we're hoping that we're pregnant, and I don't know, it's just a really difficult emotional roller coaster, and sometimes it's hard to just not let it affect you, but it does. And so yeah, we've been on this journey as well, and it's just really sad at like how much it affects us emotionally. Like, as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I did this huge surprise for Yosh, and we were just so happy, and all of a sudden you just have this like sense of purpose, and everything just falls into place in your mind of like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. And every month when I get my period, it's just very hard and emotional, and I just try not to let it get to me, but it does. And I know there's always next month, but yeah, so I don't know, these walks have just been really nice for me to clear my head, and it's just been really lovely. So yeah, if anyone else is on this journey, I'm not alone in this. I think this is like such a common thing, more so than what people think. I don't think people really talk about it much, but whenever I mention it to someone, they have always been through the same thing or something similar. So if you're going through it too, you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. So
well, this coupling is being extremely stubborn, as predicted. It just seems to say every task you try to complete, it's an absolute fight. Been super soaking in WD-40 and every other sort of rust spray I could find. The only way this is going to come off is with a bit of heat, I reckon. So this morning I found a fire blanket, and I do have a gas torch, but I sort of whipped it in there the other day and it was just way too gnarly, and like the stuffing box is right next door, so that's made of plastic. So the last thing I want to do is burn a hole in the stuffing box. So we got the fire blanket today. We don't really want to have a fire in the bilge or anywhere else around here. Alright, well the family are off the boat now, so I can get out the flamethrower and try to heat this up and see if we can't pop it. By adding heat causes the metal to expand, which then breaks the bonds between what it's attached to. That's the theory behind it. So you don't need to make it red hot, but you definitely need to heat it up way hotter than you can touch it. Heat and tap, heat and tap, heat and tap, heat and tap. This thing is pretty gnarly though. Hence the reason there's a fire blanket. Hey Lila.
This is why they're running a motor?
Yeah, the motor's still not working yet. Thank you.
Thing.
You're on fire, aren't you, Lila?
Yeah.
That's good. You came at the right time because I had a little bit of movement when I whacked it with a hammer. Yeah, good work, hey, Lila?
Yeah, that's a robot.
Go, Dad. Yeah, it moved a little bit. Hey, celebrate with Dad! High five! Another one! Yeah! We just had a massive victory. I got the keyway out. So I figured I'd take all the puller off, pull the whole shaft forward and just give it one last hand with the persuader. And the keyway, I got the keyway out. Yay! The coupling's still on, but you got to celebrate the little victories.
That's right.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, baby, that's movement. Yeah! It's amazing how excited you can get over the littlest of things. So this keyway is about 50 mil long, and since I got that out, that's basically the length of how much shaft is in the coupling. So we've moved it, what, 10 mil now? So we got 40 mil to go. Every millimetre, baby, every millimetre. This little persuader's going strong, but I feel if I had a bigger one, I'd already have this coupling off. Here she is. Yes. Yes. Ah! Victory. Oh my gosh. Between you and me, I'm pretty happy. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. Now the coupling is removed, it has left a couple of surprises with the shaft, and then meaning that the Sigma drive won't fit. So now the shaft is too short for the Sigma drive to directly attach to the shaft and the coupling, so we'll have to add the spacer in, and so I needed to get some extension bolts for the Sigma drive to then go through the spacer to reach the flange of the gearbox. Also the clamping unit on the Sigma drive, it needs to be within like 0.5 millimetre, you know, and so the shaft on Nandji 2 is 1.5 inches, so that's 38.1 millimetres, and rather than machining the coupling to match the shaft, whoever put this coupling on machined the shaft to match the coupling, so the other way around. So the end of the shaft here has actually been machined down like 0.5 millimetre. So it's now like 37.5 mil. Now that may only be like 0.06 of a mil difference, but that is too much variance for the clamping unit of the Sigma drive to really squish down on the shaft and hold it tight. So therefore we've had to get a new clamp machined out of Brunton's and those longer studs sent over. Fast forward 5 days and here they are. So I need to change out, this is the clamping unit, this is what will shut down on the shaft to hold it all together, and then you sort of studs through here which holds it onto the Sigma drive, so the clamp holds the unit onto the shaft. This here is the old coupling, so to make up that space between the gearbox flange and the Sigma drive, we're just going to reuse the spacer to slot in there, and that's why we had to get these longer studs. I guess a lot of people don't realise the amount of force that goes from the prop through the shaft onto your gearbox and your engine. So your engine mounts and your coupling take a whole lot of force, and that's what actually keeps the boat smooth and vibration free, is your engine mounts and the Sigma drive. Basically just drop him in. So these 6 studs will squeeze the clamping unit. There's a little bit of a gap here. So that'll squeeze the clamping unit, and that's what clamps the Sigma drive down onto the shaft. On the shaft here where the coupling was attached, where the grub screws sort of screwed into the shaft, there's a little bit of a burr. It wasn't quite aligned perfectly, so we'll just knock him off so the coupling, so the new Sigma drive clamp can just slide on over. Beautiful. Since our last Sigma drive install, Bruntons have since added these little blue discs which you can sort of slot in underneath the clam, which just stops the CV joint from rolling, so you can still use it as a coupling to align it dead perfectly with your flange. Then you just got to take these out before you start using it. The space is just outside getting pretty. Got a bit of a spray can. The only thing I could find on the island was this beautiful silvery paint which kind of matches the Yanmar grey. fits. Perfect. Studs are perfect. Installing the Sigma drive, just got to put it on the shaft end first, and then we'll just lightly tighten the clamp so it's sort of attached and we can move the shaft. But because this shaft had a keyway, I put the keyway exactly on the opposite side of where this little split in the clamp is. Ew, thing's not light. Oh, get on there. There we go. The shaft shouldn't go any more than 60 mil up into that clamp. The previous, where they've machined it, I don't want to go past that line anyway on the shaft. And that itself is 50 mil, so I'll just go back behind that a whisker. Just loosely nip that up. Man, just having the Sigma drive attached to the shaft there, you can really see how much that CV joint, how much that 3 degrees is. So 3 degrees each way, 6 degrees all up. You can see that that is a massive amount of play that is covering. That's why we install it. Protection all around. Oh yeah, how sexy does that look? Now all we're going to do is just tighten up the clamp. So you tighten it up in like a star pattern as shown here in the instructions. But before I get stuck into that, I just want to see where the prop is positioned in the water, and I do need to take those ropes off as well. Because we have a rope cutter, it's sort of just like a millimetre perfect. Right, fast forward 2 hours later, we have a clean prop. There's no more ropes attached to the prop tying the shaft into the boat. And the prop's actually positioned really, really good. So let's just tighten up the Sigma drive. Take it for a fag. Alright, just wait for my yell. Let's click her into gear and see what she does. That is so good.
Can I turn it off now?
That is so good.
Can I stop it now?
No, turn it more!
Okay. Stop.
Stop. Oh, I am so stoked that that job is over. It's been a long couple of weeks doing the engine mounts and the coupling of Sigma drive, but I'm so stoked that they are done. You can already see, we're sitting here at the dock and putting it into gear. You can see the shaft is just spinning absolutely perfect. You put your finger on it and it's just like humming smoothly. The vibration of the motor, you know, it's not bouncing nowhere near as much. It's just basically just sitting there purring. So until we go out to sea, we won't really fully know how good it feels. But oh man, I can already see the difference, and I know we'll feel it when we start getting underway. Best thing I can recommend doing to your boat is installing a Sigma drive, just for that added protection of your gearbox, of your cutlass bearing, reducing that noise and vibration when you're underway. It's one of the best upgrades you can do to your sailboat. If you want to get yourself a Sigma drive, there is a link in the description down below. Bruntons have given us a discount for you guys, so if you use Nandji 15 in the checkout, you'll get yourself 15% off, or even if you're just dropping them an email, sending an inquiry about a Sigma drive, just say that you've seen it on Nandji and say Nandji 15 and they'll give you that discount. Also, if you are in the US, King Propulsion, they are the distributor for Sigma drives, and so yeah, so hit up King Propulsion and they'll send them out to you for free. So all those US guys, you've got a little bit of extra bonus there. Alright man, I'm so stoked that this Sigma drive is on. It just instantly, now that we have a working boat, the sense of freedom comes back. I'm like, oh, we can go anywhere again. Alright, well that's done. I think I've made myself a frothy, and when Tallulah wakes up, we're going to the pool and we're going to enjoy the marina and resort here for one last evening, because tomorrow we're out of here, girlfriend.